I'm Leon Todd for G66. Welcome to another Tuesday Tone Tip. In today's video, I'm going to show you a fun trick that you can do with the delay block and the feedback send and return blocks. Essentially what we're going to do is we're going to place effects in the feedback loop of a delay, which is going to open up some really amazing tones and textures. To get started, I have the ODS 100 Clean together with a cabinet IR that I made of a boogie cab with some EV speakers. We talked about this combination last week, and I have a little bit of the analog compressor up front. This is my old Strat on the neck and middle pickup combination. Sounds like this. Very clean and spanky right there. The first thing that we want to do is we want to set up our routing to make use of this particular effect. So what I'm going to do is after the amp and cab, I'm going to connect a delay block in parallel. Let's go with delay number 1. I'm on the Axe-FX 3, but this will work on the FM3 and the FM9 as well. What I'm actually going to do is place a block before this. Very, very lovely. Now, what I can do is, if I wanted to place an effect and hear it on the delay and the delay repeats, I simply just place a block right here. We'll talk about a variation of this where we only hear the effect on the delay repeats and the initial effect is unaffected, but this is normally how I run this. So my favorite example is inspired by something you can do on the old Lexicon MPX1. It's to place a reverb in the delay effects loop. So we'll come over here to a reverb, and let's start off with this wide hall reverb. I've got 1.5 seconds of reverb on there, and we can play with the mix control to kind of control the blend between very reverberated repeats and not so reverberated repeats. Let's hear it at 50, then we'll go to like 90 and 10. Check this out now. That is really lovely. It's pretty subtle at the moment. Let's turn the mix. Actually, let's go to 100%. Why not? Let's check this out. Very similar to having a reverb with a very long pre-delay. And if I turn the mix down to something like, say, 20%, I said 10 before, let's just do wherever this is, it's going to be a very subtle effect. And from here, I can turn the time control up, and we get some really interesting effects happening. That's quite nice. Let's go for a really long time on this particular reverb. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my delay time up as well on here. So we'll go to like 600, 700 milliseconds. Check this out now. So my delays are very upfront in this case, and the reverb is a subtle wash. If I wanted more of that wash, I could crank the mix control up on there. Let's leave it around 50%. Super lush. I really, really like that. We'll hear that with a distorted tone in just a second, but I should mention if you want less of this overall effect, you simply use the delay block level over here. So let's hear this with, say, a USA lead mid gain in the amp block now. That is is so much fun with that lead sound. I've gone back to the clean sound. I'll give you one more example here. I've got the return level up a lot higher, and I like this with a clean sound for kind of ambient swells with that long delay. I'm going to go back to my 300 millisecond delay now. Let's swap out the reverb for a chorus block. I'm just going to give you some more examples in here and roll through some of these with this 300 millisecond delay. I'll let you hear it without the chorus first and then with the chorus. You can get similar functionality to this with the multi-tap delay. You're able to add chorus to each of the delays in there. But what's fun about this is I could take any chorus type that I like and apply it to there. Another fun one would be something like a stereo phaser or a stereo flanger. Maybe let's hear the phaser. This is the stock digital stereo type. I've got the mix at 50%. I'll maybe take the mix to 100% during this. Check this out. Let's try something like the rotary block in here just for fun. This will just be at the stock settings. And what I'll do here is I'll actually swap this so that we go into the delay block, but we don't go through the rotary block. This way we will only hear the rotary effect on the delay repeats and nowhere on the dry signal. I'm also avoiding that by running in parallel, but check this out. The first repeat will be dry and then it will be super wobbly. That one is fun as well if you wanted to run the reverb but have those very bright and clear rhythmic echoes on there. I'll let you hear that. I know we're circling back around to the reverb, but this is a lot of... One of my absolute favorites is to put a stereo pitch detune in here. You can see that the theme is just kind of modulation. We can play around with some drive and filtery style effects, which I will do in a second, but this is stereo pitch detune plus and minus 9 cents. This one sounds absolutely awesome. I'm going to put it on everything over here, so I'll reroute it so that my signal goes through the pitch and then through the delay. So my very first repeat will have the stereo detune on it. Here's a fun one. I have set up Here's a fun one. I have set up a filter block in here. Low pass, I've turned the Q up a little bit. I've got the frequency at around 6K and I'm using a random LFO in here for kind of a sample and hold filter on my delay repeat. So this is pretty wild. Again, there are some features in the delay and multi-tap delay block that already let you do some fun filter stuff like that, but this is a different workflow, and it's kind of fun to explore the power of the Axe-Fx FM3 and FM9 this way. One last example, which I will play you all out with, it's using the compander type in the compressor block. Now, the delay block on the Axe-Fx3 and FM9 already has a compander in it, but what's cool about using the standalone type is you've got the transients control in there. And I like to use this to kind of imitate like early 80s digital delay units where they had these compander circuits in them. You get these very crisp, well-defined repeats in there, again, because you're pumping up the transients on there. So I'll let you hear this. This is quite subtle, but I think if you're into those kind of tones, you will really, really like that. I'm going to play you all out with this example as well. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Any requests for future videos, let me know in the comment section, and I will see you all next Tuesday for another Tuesday Tone Tip. Let's hear what this compander does.